today. My name is Amelia and I teach here at Physical Equilibrium. I'm a Pilates instructor, and this 20-minute sequence we'll be moving through today is focused on addressing usual tight spots in the body from more of a sedentary lifestyle, or maybe we're just have a lot of habits of moving in a specific movement plane. So we'll be addressing mobility through the hips, through the spine, and also the shoulders. We're going to begin lying down on your back on the mat. And just have the knees comfortably bent. Take a moment just to inhale fully, and as you exhale, focus on the weight of the body softening down into the mat. We're going to reach the arms up, and then just bend the elbows back to about 90 degrees, so your forearms are parallel to the ground. Let's inhale, and as you do, open the arms wide in a full goalpost position. See how close you can get the palms to the ground. Maybe they touch. And then let's just hold that stretch for another breath in. As you exhale, close the arms and see if you can get the whole forearm and the palms to touch each other. We're going to take that 3 times. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. 2 more times. Last one, we'll inhale and actually keep the arms here. Now, if it feels a little more comfortable for you, you can slightly angle the palms a few inches up off of the ground. So that's one way you can modify that degree of stretch. From here, let's just take a couple marches of the legs. So trying to keep the spine nice and still. We'll have a little natural arch behind the low back. Let's just float one leg, alternating sides up into tabletop. We're going to take 4 more like that. Holding the goalpost stretch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now march both legs up. Feel a little core engagement as we hold this shape. And we're going to begin to sequence rotation through the lower and upper body. So starting with the lower body, squeeze the legs together and tip the legs as far to your right as you can, trying to keep both elbows connected to the ground. And then we'll just come back through center. And we're going to tip a little bit in the other direction. One side of your pelvis will be peeling up as you do this. But we're going to try to maximize that stretch across the chest by not moving the upper body away from the floor. We're going to take that one more time. And now the movement's going to get a little bigger. So let's take the knees all the way to one side. This will challenge that stretch across the chest. See if they can stack, and we're still in that goalpost position. Take a deep breath here, and as you exhale, you're going to close the upper body so you're lying on one side. And now we'll just keep the lower body stacked and only mobilize through the upper body. So we rotate, follow the moving hand with the eyes. Maybe we can match the back of the palm on the ground again. And then exhale, we close. Let's take that 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Last one. Good. So now we're going to transition to the other side. Let's start by opening through the upper body. Try to bring that palm on the ground. Then slowly sweep the legs up and over. Keep your hands connected to the ground and move the legs in the opposite direction. You may get a couple satisfying pops through the spine. So now, full breath in, we're going to close the upper body to match the lower body 3 times. And 2. And 1. Last one, we open and hold the arms in goalpost, and then just float the legs up through center. Bring the arms by your side and bring the legs down. Okay, so now just let the palms rest on the mat. We'll now go into some bridging movements. So you're going to tuck the tailbone through the legs, envision a lobster tail. And once we get that tuck, you're going to start to feel the spine wanting to peel away from the ground, so we're just going to follow that movement and lift the hips up. At the top of your bridge, focus on the ribs knitting together, and then we'll just slowly, sequentially lower the spine back down until we feel back of the pelvis just returning to rest on the ground. 2 more, exactly the same. Nice, easy breath here. One more time, up and down. Smooth articulation of the spine. Okay, we're going to come up one more time and then hold at the top. So, holding our bridge, you may feel a bit of activation through the hamstrings, the glutes. Also, gently press the back of the arms into the mat, and that will give you a little bit more awareness into your back space. We're going to try to stabilize through the trunk here, and without moving the pelvis, can you just float one leg up to 90 degrees? You'll feel about double the effort on the supporting leg. You're going to bring that leg down. Use your breath as needed. I like to exhale on the harder movement, which for me is the lift up. Let's take a couple more, alternating sides. One more each side. All right, we'll bring those legs down and then sequentially lower the spine. Building off of that idea, let's come up once more. You're going to float your right leg up. You're now going to reach the right leg so the knee is extended. As you inhale, slowly lower the leg down. Exhale, lift. 3 more times, lower. Lift. 2. How's that pelvis doing? Last one. Lift. Bend the knee. Bring it down. Keep those hips lifted, and we're going to do the other side. Lower and lift for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bend the knee, bring it down. We're now just going to bring the hands on your hip bones. I want you to drop one side of your pelvis down so there's an incline happening through your pelvis. Just roll down on that side of the spine until it touches the ground. Then we'll lift it up on that side. We'll pass through center, spill a little water off the opposite hip bone to roll down on that side of the spine. And lift. One more time. You'll feel a little treading sensation through the soles of the feet as you do this. And then lower it all the way down. All right, bring those knees into your chest. Just take one deep breath in. Focus on that imprint of the lower back into the ground. And then as you exhale, legs will come back in tabletop. We'll have a little natural arch in the lower back, and the arms will reach up. Okay, so focusing here on the abdominals. We're going to reach opposite arm and leg away from the center of the body. So, reach back. See how close the arm and the leg can get to the ground without touching. And then we'll just bring it back. Alternating sides. The leg and the arm that aren't moving, try to keep them really stacked and still. You can choose to exhale on the reach for a bit more of a core connection. Just 4 more times like this. Check in with your shoulders. If you feel them kind of close to your ears, see if you can just plug them down. 2. And last one. Good. Okay, pull the knees into the chest. We're going to take a little rock to come up to sit. Okay. So from here, let's come onto all fours. You're going to just bring the shoulders directly over the wrists and the hips are over your knees. And let's start by taking a few cat-cows here. So as we inhale, we look up, we arch through the spine. Exhale, round the back. Tailbone tucks, head drops down. Let's take a few more of those. Focus on the neck and the tailbone, opposite ends of the spine. See how much movement you can produce in those two spots and everywhere in between. Last one here, arch and curl. Okay, coming into more of a neutral alignment through the back. Now we're going to explore a similar movement to what we were just doing lying on the back. You're going to reach your right arm forward. It'll come by your earlobe and then bring it down. And let's just alternate reaching opposite arm forward. Again, keep the shoulders dropping away from the earlobes. We're going to switch it up now and bring the awareness into the lower body. So a little engagement through the core. Think of pulling the belly button in a little bit more. And try to keep the pelvis as level and still as possible as you reach one leg back. And then we'll do the other side. A couple more, just with the legs. And now we'll just blend that together. So we're going to do opposite arm and leg. You can do either side first. We're going to reach out, hold for a moment. Imagine your arm and leg being an inch longer than they actually are. And then slowly bring it down. Opposite side, reach. Really press down into the supporting palm. Couple more each side. This is a good exercise. We're addressing the stability through the trunk, but also that elongation through the limbs. We get a nice stretch through shoulders and hips. Once more, each side. And then we're going to bring that down. Now just bring your left hand behind your head. Back to some rotation. Try to keep the hips pretty still as you inhale and rotate to look up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, twist and thread your elbow under your straight arm. Just two more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Good. Second side. Arm behind the head. Inhale, twist. And exhale. Last one. Good job. Okay. We'll bring it down onto the forearms. We're going to float the left leg up. You'll flex your foot, trying to keep the hips still. Let's find a little external rotation through the hips. So we're turning the knee out away from the body and then bringing it back. Nice and slow. 4 more on this side. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to keep the leg parallel. You're just going to pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring it down. Second side. Right leg lifts. The leg starts parallel, so knee shines to the ground. Bottom of the foot is looking up at the ceiling. So we externally rotate. Try to keep your pelvis still. Just focus on the movement of the leg bone and the hip socket spiraling outwards. And we'll be feeling a little glute activation, hopefully, as we go into this. 4 more times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring that down. Now we're going to come to lie on the abdomen. So, like the beginning, arms are going to be in a goalpost position, head down. Just take a breath here. Focus on the back of the ribs expanding. And what we're going to do is just try to lift just the arms up. And then just the shape of the arms down. One more time, just the arms. And lower. Now arms stay down, just the head and a little bit of the chest is going to come up. And then bring that down. One more time, head and chest. And down. We're going to move that together. So arms, upper back, head and chest. Lift everything together. And lower. 3 more like that. Two. Last one, lift and hold. From there, can you energize through your legs and hover the legs up as well? Can you reach the arms out into a wide V in front of you? As you bend the elbows into that goalpost, lift a few more inches, and then dive forward, slightly lower the head so you're hovering about an inch away from the ground. Bring the arms back into goalposts, lift the chest, look forward, and dive. 2 more like that. And last one. We'll bring the hands back by the chest. Let's shift back and lean into a resting position with the knees either wide or together and the head down. Take 2 breaths here. And slowly come up to sit. Okay, so one more move for your afternoon today. We're going to come into a cross-legged position. Either leg can be in front. And let's just bring the hands on the knees and just shift back and forth for a few moments. Focus on your sit bones, those bony landmarks at the base of the pelvis, rooting down into your mat. And think of really stacking up over your pelvis with your rib cage, your shoulders, and your head. We'll reach the arms out to the side. You're going to tip your ear to the left shoulder and go into a little side bend. Try to keep that opposite sit bone still connected to the ground and just check in with your jaw and your shoulders. Let go any excess tension you need there. And then we're going to come all the way up. Opposite way, up and over. Deep breath in and exhale. We'll take that a couple more times side to side. Maybe you go a little lower onto the forearm. Hold for 1 breath when you reach that full stretch. And other side. Last one, let's go over. You'll pause at whatever depth in the stretch you want. It's at a little rotation. Look up to the ceiling, open the chest slightly backwards, and then you're going to look down to the ground. One more time. Inhale, rotate to look up. Exhale, look down. Pass back through center. Once more to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. And one more here. Up. And down. Come all the way up through center. And hopefully you're feeling a little more aligned and loose through your joints. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we hope that you stop by the studio soon. Have a good afternoon.